saver, okay? It's gonna save you a lot of time if you remember that. Just W. Okay, and did we ever get those sheets with all the hyperkey?
We had them
Yeah.
last semester.
Yeah,
We printed them out.
yeah. Guys, keep that with you. Laminate it and keep it with you. If you can laminate it, and what you do is take two sheets and put them back to back and then laminate it. So this way, whichever way you turn it, you have them on there, okay? Pretty cool stuff. This way it doesn't get messed up and whatever, but great table to have. So this way you're like, what was that for the prefixes, suffixes, or for the answer, question, blah, blah, blah. It's all right there. All of it is right there, okay?
This dialog, G is a shortcut. And this time I'll use the shortcut D. And of course,
And what they do, if you'll notice, if you want to open your box,
use the shortcut
what they do is try to put the letter with the closest thing that's closest to it. Okay? So the G is ing, S is plural, A is, I think on mine, I think I may have changed it, but it's like ability, stuff like that, or able, so they try to keep the letters pretty close to what you're trying to do. The E is EST, so they try to keep the letters pretty close to what you need, okay? Pretty cool.
D. And of course, these suffixes were added with the proper spelling adjustments. Much more could be said about prefixes and suffixes, but this is the subject of a separate in-depth ePower video tutorial which shows you step by step how to take advantage of the prefixes and suffixes kit.
Pretty cool stuff right there.
Let's see some of the ways that Automagic helps you prevent spelling errors as you work. Word reversals are just one of the small problems that Automagic understands. This question should have been, is she still working there? Pressing 5.
They're talking about Automagic, and the Automagic should be on your left-hand side, and it gives you the different things that you can do with stuff, okay? So what it does is it gives you the number that you need, what you need to do with that, what that number does. So if you need a byline right there, you just push number 1, puts a byline, blah, blah, blah. But what you want to do is reverse the word, because it should be, is she, not she is, still works there. That's not right. It's reversed. So over here, they give you the shortcut. That's the shortcut to it. It's just Shift FR. So try that. Just wherever you are, just do Shift FR. Just Shift R, I'm sorry, not Shift FR. Shift R, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry. Shift R. Shift R. And it should reverse the words. And then just put it back on the previous word, and then do Shift R, and it'll put it back. Pretty cool stuff. And like a lot of times, like my is it or it is, kind of will get jumbled up sometimes, and sit. So, I mean, it comes up, as a conflict for me, but I know that sometimes it's it is, and sometimes it's is it. Make sense? So sometimes you just have to flip the word, and that's what it'll do. Just that Shift R.
Is a fast way to reverse these words. This should have been working, but I need a different suffix. Pressing 2 here would be a fast way to pick suffix ing. Here's another suffix problem.
On that example that they just gave you right there,
To pick suffix I,
you don't have to do all of that, okay? You know that it needs to be, what was it? Working. It needs to be working. You have your cursor right there. You push W, G, automatically puts it. You don't have to do number 2, brings up the thing, G. All you do is W, G does it. Make sense? W opens up the prefix suffix thing. G is ing. So you do W, G, go on about your business. Okay? And when you use that, guys, I'm telling you, that's almost important as the question answer F2, F3, F4. This one you're going to use a lot. So learn to use that W. Okay? And even if, it's just, I'll just, cursor over and put it, don't do it. Start using the W, start using it more, because I'm telling you, it's just going to come as second nature after that. And it's going to be quick. And it's going to cut your editing time down a lot. Because you'll be surprised how many times you just leave off endings and stuff like that. Okay?
ing. Here's another suffix problem. This should have been on the form. Yes. Pressing 3 makes that correction. And now Automagic sees that I may need a comma in front of yes. Pressing a comma would quickly insert the comma in the proper spot. Compound words are another problem. Sometimes it may be that two words need to be joined as one.
You understand what they were saying there about the comma and stuff? One word, two words. If it knows that it could be possibly one word, two words, it more than likely is going to give you the example. Okay? So don't freak out, tab over, push the space bar. Guys, you can if you want to. Time is money. Okay? Pick number one, automatically separates them. Okay? Learn to use the software.
How do you delete a suffix if you want to?
How do you delete a suffix?
Yeah, I do the prefix and it says, it tells you if you want to add it, but if you wanted to delete it, instead of saying, if you had written,
Outstanding, and it should have been outstanding?
No. Like, let's say you have working on a technical yes, and you said it should have been work on a technical yes. How would I take the ing off?
It probably is going to give it to you here as work.
Okay. Because the menu here, it says delete, but,
No, that'll delete a word. D
it is delete here, and I was just wondering.
D is delete a word.
There's a command on the prefix suffix menu. And I'm wondering what does delete do, because it's not doing anything here.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
See, I put it on a word that has an ing, and I press delete, and nothing happens. But if I had wanted to change it, I could, but I can't delete.
I think what they're saying is maybe delete these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not delete the prefix suffix, it's delete the whole thing out of that table. So be careful when you're deleting stuff out, okay? So, I mean, you can modify them, you can do whatever you want with those prefixes and suffixes. It's pretty neat. So if you open up that table, it'll show you, that you can modify them or, whatever. If it doesn't work for you, like say you use MENT more than, what would M, I don't even know what M is. Open that table up.
M is ism.
Ism. Yeah. So maybe you use MENT more, and M just sounds better, for MENT rather than ism. And ism should be, I hear it with I, because it is, then you can change it, modify them to whatever you want. Okay? Pretty neat.
It may be that two words need to be joined as compound words are another problem. Sometimes it may be that suffix.
Occasionally, you'll need to add a At this dialog, G is a shortcut. And this time I'll use the shortcut D. And of course, these suffixes were added with the proper spelling adjustments. Much
See, and you don't have to use any of that stuff, guys. It already knows to adjust the spelling, all of that stuff, okay? I think we just watched that. I think we run this one spellings.
Let's see some of the ways that AutoMagic helps you prevent spelling errors as Unit 3 makes that correction. And now AutoMagic sees that I may need a comma in front of yes. Pressing a comma would quickly insert the comma in the proper spot. Compound words are another problem. Sometimes it may be that two words need to be joined as one, or that one word needs to be split into two. Pressing choice 1 here corrects this unintended compound. This should have been "she was outstanding in the field." A typing error occurred, and the faint underlining in red is calling that to your attention as you type. The correction is also being offered on the AutoMagic list. Just
You see what it's doing? Okay? Now, he stroked field, not with a long I, which that would be filed, but whatever. But you know that it's wrong, but it put it anyway, because it put it as field, because that's the way he stroked it out. Feel did, you know? So it put it in there, it underlined it red saying that's not even a word, but that's what you stroked. Maybe somebody, you're not there to clean people up. If they say, well, did he field it? Yeah, he filled it. Really? People don't always speak properly, okay? So you're not there to clean them up. You're just there to write exactly what they say, okay? So, but there it meant field. It's just giving you an option there that you can change it.
press 9. AutoMagic also integrates type over tracking. My Steno for Technological and my Steno for Tool are very close to one another, so I tend to replace one of these words with the other. Eclipse tracks that type over, and AutoMagic offers it as a choice. If I press 7,
You see what it's telling you there? So if you do technological, it's TOL, but tool is TAOL, then it's saying, you know what, it's pretty close. Did you mean tool? If you didn't, and you meant technological, then just do technological. Okay?
that makes the correction. And here again, AutoMagic is watching for punctuation that might need to be inserted. One last correction here. Let's assume that this is not misspelled, but the reporter didn't have an alphabet that included hyphens. Pressing 3 would stitch with hyphens. Pressing 4 would actually correct the spelling. If
You see what it's telling you right there? So it's going to give you, maybe she or he spelled it wrong. And they said it's LafaYete. Well, that's not right. It's 2 T's. Okay? It's going to give you the proper spelling over here. But if she spelled it wrong, you put it in there the way she spelled it. Okay? She spelled it with 1 T, then you spell it with 1 T. She said, well, what's your last name? Or what was the guy's last name? Jim Miller. Spell Miller. M-I-L-E-R. Okay, well, that's not the universal spelling of Miller, but maybe that's the way he spells it. Maybe that's the way his family spells it. I don't know. Maybe he changed his name. And it is. Well, you go back because you're trying to be, you know, Betty helpful, and you put 2 when it's really not. And she spelled it with 1, and she spelled it correctly, but you thought that it was 2. You see what I'm saying? So you always do it the way that they say it. Okay? You're not there to clean them up.
I just go back, pressing 3 would now stitch this spelling. These are
And it gives you, you know, the options to even stitch it over here. You know, so if they see that you went L-A-F, L period, A period, F period, then they know, well, he was spelling it out. But did he mean to spell it out just L-A-F-A-Y, you know, just all caps together? Or was he spelling it out because they asked him to spell it? So the software is always thinking for you. What were you trying to do there? Were you trying to spell it? Because if you're trying to spell it, then you need the hyphens in between. Okay?
just some of the ways that AutoMagic takes advantage of the spelling checker and type over tracking features built into Eclipse.
Got it? Okay, guys. That'll do us for today. Next week, we're gonna do speakers. I'd be here. Okay? So, any questions about stuff that we covered tonight? Covered a lot of good stuff, prefixes, suffixes, the W for prefixes, suffixes, question answered in the braces, in the brackets. Knowing that putting the prefixes, suffixes in the brackets with the caret in the right place is going to change the word spelling for you. So don't put it on the outside instead of the inside. It's always on the inside. Okay? All right?